Good afternoon. How many of you go to the movies or the theater? Who doesn't go to a movie or a theater? That's all right. You just kick back and relax. Zone out, tune in. It's summer, and my family, we go to the movies a lot. We're big into going to the movies. We go see first run things, opening days, those kind of things. And on our last vacation, we actually went to the theater a couple of times too. We were in New York, saw a Broadway show and an off-Broadway show. Before the shows and before the movies, there's always an announcement. In the olden days, they would just tell you to go buy some concessions. You're about to sit and watch something, but that's okay. Get up and go buy something. Let's all go to the lobby, kind of thing. Buy some soda, popcorn. Then they evolved. Sometimes they remind you don't to smoke, which they don't do anymore, because I think it's a given that people just don't smoke in the theater or the lobbies or the movie screens. They would also advise you not to talk. Please be courteous. Silence your cell phones. And then they added no texting. We're watching. Some of them are a little more, we're watching you. If we see you doing it, we will kick you out. I think one of the Regal theaters say, we will kick you out if we catch you. Some of them are just like, please be kind and courteous and silence your cell phones. No talking or texting during the movie. If you have to take a call, please step out to the lobby. Give you a little positive advice. And I always like that one in particular because you might want the phone to tell you if the babysitter's starting to bring the house down. You won't want to step out or take that call, or if you've got a 24/7 on-call type job, you might need to take a phone call. There are other things I think that folks can do or be aware of for etiquette purposes to make the experience more enjoyable for those around. Sometimes the cultural sensitivities of the audience play a role in what's acceptable, what isn't. And then sometimes those people are nitpicking. I'm going to give you a little bit of everything. In terms of courtesy, the standards are already out there. Don't talk. Keep your phones quiet. Don't pull out your phone and text. And that goes with just activating your phone at all. These modern devices, even when you've got it dimmed as possible, light up. Even in a black screen, it still glows. And even if you're just curious, how much longer do I have? Unless you're going to be able to just do this and nobody else can see it, if they're in front of you, they'll see it. And nothing's more distracting than seeing this light that's not part of the movie come on. So don't even look at it. Wear a watch.
Wear a watch.
They often, of course, want you to buy their food. Nothing says you've been to the movies like paying $12 for 13 cents worth of popcorn. So it's hard to say, don't make noise while you're eating, because some people do. And so my advice is if you're eating and it's one of those scenes, you're an action movie, who cares? I can't hear, it's so bombastic, I can't hear, anything anyway, so chomp all you will. But when it gets to that quiet, suspenseful scene, killer's coming and the music is just barely starting, or it's what the sorrowful scene is, that moving scene where the music is just starting to crescendo and the emotions, and you're like, chomp, 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 chomp. It distracts. And so that's when maybe you just wait for that next pop. If you're at the bottom of the soda, just don't slurp it, just wait. It ruins the mood. No, it ruins the mood. So you got to be conscious of some of the noises people make. One of the ones that it didn't used to bug me as much, but it bugs my wife. It drives her nuts. And so I've gotten attuned to it now, and so now I hear it. It's the plastic wrapper or something, right? Everything comes in plastic. Everything is some sort of plastic these days, and that it is impossible for this plastic to not make noise. So I'm going to get that stick of gum out, or take the candy out of its little container. That's the worst, because that's that hard plastic. Inevitably, somebody wants to do this during the quiet scene. And inevitably, they think the slower they go, the quieter it is, right? So instead of just a quick and being done, it's like, it just goes on and on and on. Sometimes it's just the one thing, it's the one quick minute. Sometimes it's like, no, they're in there, they got their bag. And so the bag of chips, you ever try to make a bag of chips be quiet? It's impossible. These plastic bags cannot be quiet unless they just sit there untouched. And so they're reaching into the bag of something they snuggled in. So if this is one of you people, please don't do this. in some theaters, it doesn't happen very often, but it happened to me a couple times, people will talk back to the movie. I think this depends on the movie and the overall crowd. I was aghast when I heard this one crowd start talking, but it was such a bad movie, and it was such a boisterous, full crowd, that I got more entertainment from the very clever comments that were coming from the peanut gallery. It was the movie The Fly, starring Goldblum, right? The remake of The Fly. And it was not a great cinematic masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. And there's this one scene, and it's a very rowdy Berkeley crowd that I'm watching this with. This is back in school days. And there's this one scene where they're trying to hack into our protagonist's computer to get something shut down. And instead of just password, it says, "What is the magic word?" And the guys in the audience all, "What's the magic word?" The movie's all, "What's the magic word?" And the guy in the back of the audience all, "A la peanut butter and jelly sandwiches," which was the old magic word from Sesame Street, which was hilarious, completely out of the blue, and the whole audience busted a gut, and it actually made what was kind of a dumb scene enjoyable for the wrong reasons. I don't highly encourage it. And then we're talking to a movie. There was this one movie where the scene was so intense that the woman, she wasn't a talker, but she couldn't help it. She was like, "Oh my God, no! Oh my God, no! Oh my God, no!" She was just like, "Somebody stop!" She was getting scared because it was Mission Impossible, the most recent one, where he's hanging out of the window, right, on that super tall tower in Dubai, and in the big screen, you could get the butterflies and just run along with him. And she got the butterflies, and she was trying to calm herself down. She got us all worked up. Those are some of the things that there's no set rules for. It's got to be conscious of. If you're a talker, try not to talk. If you think you'll need to use the restroom, I recommend an end-aisle seat. If you're buying the 2-liter giant $18 thing of soda and you're chugging it early, and the movie's going to go for 2.5 hours, and it's a full theater, you might want to consider being. And I realize sometimes you don't have a choice. You sit where you sit, or there's nobody there, so you've got a perfect seat in the middle, and then it fills up around you. Okay, go beforehand as best you can. We're always, after our kids, gotta go before, go before, gotta go before. I don't have to go now, empty it out anyway. You'll save yourself that much trouble later. The movies can be a lot of fun. Theater can be a lot of fun. It can be more fun if we're conscious and courteous and aware of the noises or disturbances we might inadvertently make. So when you go out there, I'm not asking you to go rat people out and tell them to be quiet. Be as comfortable as you can be, but be considerate of the things that they don't advertise before the movies, and have a good time at the show.
Thank you, Art. I especially relate to the go to the bathroom beforehand argument with the children. I am always having that argument with the kids. It's like, no, you will go now, or we will not go in the theater. End of discussion.